Have you ever felt like a stranger on this planet? Like you are deeply homesick for a place you can't quite remember, or that you are here right now for a specific unspoken reason? If so, you are not alone. Across the world, millions of people are waking up to a growing realization. We are living through a massive, unprecedented shift in human consciousness, and a vast narrative is emerging, suggesting that a great wave of souls consciously chose to incarnate on Earth during this exact window of time to help pull the planet out of its dark ages. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, an absolute wild and beautiful idea. After spending a lot of time investigating, I believe fully that this is real, and I want to show you what convinced me. Over the course of this video, we are going to trace a breathtaking matrix of evidence, examining independent sources across decades that, without knowing one another, mapped out the exact same cosmic operation. From 19th century scientific spiritualist studies and mid-20th century trance readings to quantum channels, clinical hypnotherapy, laboratory out-of-body research, and near-death experiences, they all point to the same mystery. Advanced souls arriving on Earth to act as living frequency anchors, designed to absorb heavy collective vibrations and hold the light for a new Earth. To understand how these helper souls arrived in physical form, we turn to the pioneering work of legendary hypnotherapist Dolores Cannon. Through decades of deep quantum regression hypnosis, Cannon placed thousands of clients into trance states where they unexpectedly recalled the exact same pre-birth origin. Her clients revealed that after atomic weapons were detonated on Earth in the 1940s, a call for assistance went out across the cosmos, and distinct generations of volunteers answered. Quick side note here. In many UFO encounters, the topic of atomic bombs is directly mentioned by the visitors, claiming that we have still not grasped the full extent of the destructive nature of these devices. Since the Trinity test in 1945, UFO sightings and encounters have massively spiked. That is fact. It reminds me of a kid holding a gun, not able to comprehend the consequences of its actions. Of course, this draws the attention of grown-ups, and rightfully so. Back to Dolores Cannon's work. In her landmark book, The Three Waves of Volunteers and the New Earth, Cannon mapped out how these helper souls arrived across three specific energetic generations. Wave 1, the Trailblazers. Born between the late 1940s and 1960s, these souls were the energetic snowplows. They took the hardest hit. Arriving into a dense, rigid, post-war world, they often suffered from intense depression, isolation, and a deep aversion to physical violence, yet they carved the initial path. Wave 2, the Human Beacons. Born in the 1970s and 1980s, these souls act as walking antennas and energy stabilizers. Highly empathetic and often preferring solitude, they don't necessarily feel the need to preach or lead publicly. Their very presence in a room subtly transmutes heavy frequencies and calms the collective grid. Wave 3, the Architects. Born from the 1990s onward, often recognized as indigo, crystal, or rainbow souls, these younger generations arrived with pre-ordered frequency and advanced intuitive gifts. Possessing zero tolerance for corrupt or outdated systems, they are here to tear down old, rigid structures and build the foundations of the new Earth. What makes this thesis truly compelling is that it doesn't rely on a single voice. When we step back, we find a massive, interlocking matrix of independent historical and scientific sources that point to the exact same cosmic operation. 1. Allan Kardec and the Spirits Book. Let's go back to 19th century France. A rigorous educator and scientist named Allan Kardec began investigating the spiritualist phenomenon. He used a strict, double-blind cross-verification method, questioning spirits across multiple mediums who did not know each other. In his foundational work, The Spirits Book, Kardec's sources explicitly stated that planets evolved just like souls do. They revealed that Earth was transitioning from a dense world of trials and expiations into a highly evolved world of regeneration. Kardec was told that during this shift, highly advanced spirits from other, more peaceful planets would willingly choose to incarnate on Earth. Their sole mission was to bring advanced moral and intellectual frequencies to jumpstart human evolution. 2. Edgar Cayce, Planetary Sojourns and the Aquarian Shift, from 1923 to 1945. Moving into the early 20th century, we find America's most documented psychic, Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet. Through over 14,000 trance readings, Cayce outlined the exact same cosmic mechanics long before modern hypnosis regression existed. Cayce introduced the concept of planetary sojourns, revealing that human souls do not merely bounce from one Earth life to another. Between physical incarnations, souls travel to higher dimensional, non-physical realms across the universe, represented symbolically by different cosmic spheres. Cayce explicitly stated that souls returning directly from these higher celestial environments arrive on Earth with heightened psychic sensitivities, unconventional minds, and advanced creative capacities designed to serve as evolutionary catalysts. Furthermore, Cayce prophesied that Earth was moving toward the threshold of the Age of Aquarius, a global cleansing and awakening where human consciousness would break free from old dogmatic illusions and realize its intrinsic oneness with the universe. 3. Jane Roberts and the Seth Material, 1963 to 1984. In the 1960s, a writer named Jane Roberts began channeling a highly sophisticated personality named Seth. Long before modern New Age movements took off, the Seth Material mapped out the quantum mechanics of the soul and the nature of reality. Seth laid out a clear timeline for humanity's evolution, specifically pointing out that the 21st century would be a period of immense psychological remodeling. Seth revealed that a massive wave of consciousness was flowing onto the planet to wake humans up to a fundamental law of the universe. You create your own reality. Seth explained that the chaos we see today is actually the collective birth pains of humans realizing their thoughts directly shape physical matter. Seth explained that humanity is currently shifting away from the limitations of the physical ego. We are rapidly developing our inner senses, our intuition, telepathy, and multidimensional awareness. He predicted that by the year 2075, this massive transition will reach its completion, culminating in a global spiritual awakening that will completely dismantle rigid religious dogmas. During this transition, our entire understanding of reality will flip upside down. Science and religion will completely merge. 4. The Law of One and the Wanderers, 1981. In 1981, a research group led by physics professor Don Elkins established a highly structured trance-channeling contact known as the Law of One. This material didn't use the word volunteers. Instead, it called them wanderers. The text explained that millions of souls from the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensions had consciously stepped down into physical human bodies. The material explicitly stated that these wanderers function as cosmic lightning rods. They do not need to become famous leaders. Their physical human bodies naturally radiate a higher frequency that stabilizes the Earth's energy grid, making humanity's transition into a higher state of consciousness smooth and survivable. 5. Robert Monroe and The Great Gathering, 1985. In 1985, the scientific out-of-body pioneer Robert Monroe published his staggering findings. Monroe was a hard-headed radio executive who began having spontaneous out-of-body experiences. He approached this entirely through a scientific lens, founding the Monroe Institute to map non-physical realities and entering them by using sound frequencies. In his book Far Journeys, Monroe documented leaving his body and traveling to the non-physical energetic borders surrounding Earth. There, he discovered a literal interstellar traffic jam. Millions of advanced, non-physical entities from across the universe had gathered around our planet. When Monroe questioned them, they revealed they were here to monitor the Great Gathering. They explained that Earth was undergoing a rare, monumental energetic mutation, and that many of them were actively preparing to plunge into human bodies to experience and anchor this historic evolutionary frequency from the inside. 6. Dr. Michael Newton and Hybrid Souls, 1994. If you think this is purely a mystical phenomenon, look at the clinical evidence from 1994. Dr. Michael Newton, a mainstream psychologist and master hypnotherapist, was a staunch skeptic until he accidentally stumbled into the life between lives state with his patients under ultra-deep trance. Over thousands of fully documented clinical cases compiled in Journey of Souls, Dr. Newton mapped out a repeating anomaly he categorized as hybrid souls. These everyday clients, when deeply hypnotized, did not remember past lives on Earth. Instead, they recalled originating from vastly advanced, peaceful mental planets. They revealed that they had volunteered to leave their highly comfortable, non-violent worlds to take on heavy, painful human bodies on Earth. Why? Because their souls possessed an advanced energetic composition specifically required to help stabilize human consciousness during a volatile cosmic transition. This same cosmic blueprint is independently verified by people who clinically die and return to life. Near-death experience researchers note that when people cross over to the other side, they are repeatedly shown this exact global transition. Take Christian Sandberg, who vividly remembers his pre-birth choices. He recalls viewing Earth from the spirit realm, recognizing its harsh density and consciously choosing to incarnate specifically to anchor the frequency of love during this critical shift. Look at Daniel Brinkley, who died in 1975 after being struck by lightning. In his book Saved by the Light, he explains how 13 beings of light showed him visions of the future. They warned him that human consciousness would go through a massive shaking by the early 21st century, and instructed him to return to his body to build energy centers to help stabilize people's internal vibrations. Then there's Mellon Thomas Benedict, whose 1982 NDE is one of the most unique in history. After dying of terminal cancer for over an hour and a half, his consciousness traveled past the boundaries of the physical universe into the cosmic void. There, he was shown a holographic blueprint of our future. He saw that humanity is undergoing a massive spiritual upgrade where old systems of war will dissolve. When he woke up, his terminal cancer was completely cured. He spent the rest of his life creating light healing technologies to elevate cellular frequencies. Finally, Anita Moorjani, who survived end-stage lymphoma in 2006, returned from her NDE with a simple message: we do not need to perform massive, exhausting tasks to change the world. By maintaining a personal state of high vibration, love and joy, we act as anchors that automatically uplift the entire global collective. Fascinatingly, this cosmic shift isn't just being reported by researchers and those who die and come back. It's actively being announced by the newest generation among us. In late 2024 and 2025, a massive cultural phenomenon erupted with the release of a documentary audio series called The Telepathy Tapes. The podcast followed journalists investigating non-verbal, non-speaking autistic children who communicate by spelling on letterboards or typing. Under controlled environments, these children demonstrated jaw-dropping telepathic abilities, reading minds, and exchanging thoughts instantly. But the most profound revelations came when they were asked about reality itself. According to reports from the series, these children independently revealed that they regularly visit higher dimensions and download infinite cosmic knowledge. They explicitly state that a massive cosmic shift is underway to return humanity to a state of absolute spiritual freedom. These non-verbal children are living proof of souls arriving with entirely different hardware, operating beyond the standard limitations of the physical human brain to act as advanced conduits for the coming shift. To understand the full scope of this shift, we must open our minds to an even wider reality. Many of these volunteers are not originally from Earth at all. Throughout UFO abduction literature, another data point emerges. While mainstream media portrays alien abductions as terrifying events, deep hypnotic regression tells a very different story. Many abductees, when placed under trance, discover that they actually belong to the very species interacting with them, such as the Greys or Nordics. During these close encounters, these individuals are gently reminded of their cosmic soul contract. They are told that they volunteered to leave their advanced interstellar civilizations to incarnate into human families. Why? Because a cosmic law of non-intervention prevents advanced star civilizations from directly interfering with Earth's evolution. The only way to help humanity is from the inside out, by becoming human themselves. By taking on human DNA and walking the physical Earth, these starseed volunteers act as living bridges, anchoring galactic frequencies directly into our planet's grid to help stabilize the transition. So, how exactly does this reality-bending shift take place? When we combine all these historical threads, a picture forms of a steady, profound evolution of the human mind rather than an overnight apocalyptic disaster. We are moving away from the heavy limitations of the physical ego. Our inner senses, our telepathy, intuition, and multidimensional awareness are rapidly activating, leading toward a massive global turning point in the decades ahead. During this transition, our entire understanding of reality will flip upside down as science and spirituality finally merge into a unified understanding. For centuries, materialist science claimed that physical matter was all that existed, treating consciousness as a mere biological byproduct. But as quantum physics advances, it is validating what mystics have always known. Consciousness creates matter, not the other way around. Science is becoming a study of universal frequencies, unlocking new paradigms of light, sound, and intention to elevate human life. When you step back and look at the sheer volume of cross-verifiable data, spanning different centuries, distinct cultures, scientific labs, clinical regression rooms, and near-death experiences, it becomes impossible to write this off as mere coincidence. The exact same blueprint keeps emerging. Different voices across time, operating completely independent of one another, have all been describing the exact same event: Earth undergoing a profound evolutionary shift, stabilized by a wave of conscious souls who volunteered to be here. The validity of this narrative isn't only found in faith, but in the overwhelming consistency of the evidence, and perhaps in the quiet resonance you feel deep inside yourself while listening to it. Yet we all know how easy it is to forget. The heavy, dense frequency of physical Earth, the daily grind, the constant societal pressures, the collective trauma can wear us down. It is terrifyingly easy to get caught in the noise of this simulation, trapped by survival mode and pinned down by the density until we completely lose sight of why we are here. In mystical traditions and spiritual literature, from Ra's Law of One to esoteric metaphysics, it is said that Earth is one of the most intense, challenging evolutionary schools in the entire cosmos. It takes a remarkably mature, resilient soul to step into this dense veil of amnesia and not stray from the path. To be surrounded by fear and illusion, yet still choose to wake up, break free from the density, and realign with your true purpose takes immense cosmic courage. Whenever you feel exhausted or bogged down by this world, let this be your reminder. Remember why you might have chosen to step into this physical body during this exact historical window. Shake off the density, step out of the illusion, and refocus your awareness on your unique contribution toward the new Earth. So ask yourself, if this narrative is true, if people like us being drawn to these exact ideas right now are the very ones trying to wake up and remember this truth in order to fulfill our purpose, what would we do next? How would we choose to live and treat each other? Each one may choose for oneself. Your soul is in your keeping alone, and you may decide what you want to experience on Earth. I can only answer this for myself. My knowledge and faith of the things beyond the veil give me courage. They energize me. If life gets challenging, I stop and remind myself of this higher purpose. And I think of some mantras. However chaotic my environment, I am calm. I am peaceful. I bring serenity. I am kind, especially when it becomes hard or in situations where no one expects kindness. My actions create infinite ripple effects. Each little deed grows into something, so I send out good deeds in all directions. With the light that was given to me, I break circles of worry, fear, and violence. If they can see my light, they will let me see theirs. Goodbye, my fellow believers, and until next time.